Okay, well, you guys have probably heard me talk about web stuff in the past, and it's something that's very current and topical today because there is so much change going on. But there are some foundational principles that I encourage people to think about, and they flow something like this. So there is the on-page aspect of your website. That's the stuff that you can control directly. I'm hoping that all of you have a website that you can control directly, and that you're adding content to it. And then there's the off-page aspect, and that's what happens outside of the site. That's links back to your site from local listings, directories, and services that organized information for industries, specific industries. Then there's the social media layer of things, and social media layers, the third layer, and that's where you are. It should be looked at as a distribution channel for the information that you're adding to your site. And basically, the important thing about the social layer that people need to keep in mind is that mostly it is social. It's not so commercial. And so this idea of user intent is very important. Are people there are they looking for a business, or are they looking for social interaction with their family and friends and loved ones? So how does this all fit together? Well, the things that you can control directly, your on-page optimization, your own personal website that you hopefully have control over, is the place for your long-form sales messages. And it's really a good idea to think about your website as an employee that is working for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and to shuffle off as much of the busy work as you possibly can to your website. So that means things like putting paperwork that you find yourself reusing into your website. It means using it to gather and build an email marketing list, and that will allow you to do things like marketing automation, which is one of the current buzzwords in the industry. Actually, Terry is doing some of that using a service that essentially sets up a sequence of emails that go to people with various messages to try to keep them in touch with your business and what it offers, and do it in a non-obtrusive sort of way. Some people call it drip marketing. The modern term marketing automation has to do with the way in which, based on people's actions, the messages to them can be changed. And so another important aspect I think that people need to think about, and this is something I would like to talk to Chris about a little bit more, is taking money through your site in the form of allowing people to pay bills online. I think this is a growth area for probably both of us, in that any business that is billing their clients should be able to bill them through their website. Doesn't necessarily need to be a full-fledged shopping cart, although that can have advantages because you can do things like retain customer history and show them past receipts and things they've ordered in the past, and kind of give them a reason to come back to your site. It's a little bit of a the industry is a changing, moving target. The idea that a web developer just helps you build your website is probably not an adequate way to look at it. There are more free online services to build websites than ever. There's some bottom end pressure on us as web developers, because there are things like Squarespace and Wix and other things that allow people to build sites essentially for little or no money. What is missing in that equation is the overview, the conception of how all of this stuff works together, and how your website can bring you new business. And so, I'm sure that a lot of people, think, oh, social media is not for me and my business. I think that that everyone should be looking very closely at LinkedIn. They have a new tool they call the Sales Navigator that allows you to search for new prospects based on all kinds of parameters. So if you have, if you think, oh, well, there's not going to be direct, clients that I can approach in LinkedIn, you should think about aligning yourself with lead sources, power partner type people, and those people can be researched and found using this tool. So there are as many different social media platforms as there are different types of information. YouTube is becoming a social media platform because of the ability to comment and to develop followers and to market out to followers. People have been getting a little bit of traction here with YouTube. I think that whether you use someone like Terry to produce the video, or you produce the video on your own, the idea is that you're getting your content out there into the world. I think that there's a definite difference between what something like Terry would produce and something like you would produce on your own. But I would encourage everyone to do it nonetheless. That also applies for page content and blog content. Everyone should be theoretically getting their marketing message, their sales proposition, their unique value proposition out into the world as much as possible. The difference with a person like Terry, is that it's possible to throw something together, but it doesn't necessarily have a clear through line. It doesn't necessarily have a cohesive message that is, bolstered by, graphics and things that help really make the sale. That's where someone like Terry can help you produce a really useful video. And the same thing could be said for your written marketing messages in terms of page content and blog content. We can help you figure out what your unique value proposition is, what differentiates you in the marketplace, and we can help you make sure that you get it into your site in a way that helps you be found and helps you develop new business. So quickly, questions. I think I have a minute left. Kathleen.
Yeah, so I read something about Google Plus and the circles that Google's going to give up on Google Plus.
Right.
So which of the sites do you think are really the most critical, with limited time?
Right.
I probably have time to be on maybe 2, maybe 3 social networks.
Right. So if you have a WordPress-based blog, it is possible to set them up to send out to all of them at once. So the blog becomes the core of your marketing message, but it gets sent to Facebook, it gets sent to LinkedIn, it gets sent to Google Plus, and you kind of cover all the bases. Google Plus is not going to go away completely yet, as much as they are going to break out parts of it into their own separate services. And Photos is the first part that is getting broken out. Photos has certain momentum behind it. And I'm available for questions 24 hours a day. You have my cell phone number. And I like to talk about stuff besides just web stuff. So hopefully I'll hear from all of you about 11:30 tonight.